Are you approaching 80 or already past it, wondering why your body suddenly feels different in ways no one warned you about? In the next 15 minutes, you'll discover the 7 unavoidable physical changes that happen at age 80, and more importantly, the specific proven strategies that let you maintain independence and quality of life despite these changes. There's one change happening inside your body right now that most doctors don't mention until it's caused a serious injury, but I'm going to show you exactly how to counteract it starting today. Frank, an 81-year-old from Minneapolis, felt frustrated and confused when his body suddenly seemed to turn against him after his 80th birthday. He couldn't sleep through the night anymore. Simple tasks exhausted him, and he felt unsteady in ways he never had before. His doctor finally explained these weren't random problems or signs he was giving up. They were predictable physiological changes that happen to everyone at 80, and each one had a specific solution. Change. 1. Your balance system deteriorates. Rapidly after 80, your inner ear balance sensors, visual processing, and muscle coordination all decline simultaneously, making falls not just possible but statistically probable without immediate intervention. Research from Johns Hopkins School of Medicine shows that adults over 80 experience a 45% decline in vestibular function. That's your inner ear balance system, compared to age 60, while reaction time slows by 30%. This combination creates what researchers call a perfect storm for falls, because your body can't detect when you're tilting, your eyes can't compensate quickly enough, and your muscles can't react fast enough to catch yourself. The systems that kept you upright for 8 decades are fundamentally failing, and pretending otherwise puts you in immediate danger. Lucille, an 82-year-old from Denver, never experienced balance issues until 3 months after her 80th birthday, when she suddenly felt unsteady getting out of bed and nearly fell reaching for items on high shelves. She told her daughter she felt like she was walking on a boat, even though she was standing on solid ground. Without addressing declining balance through specific exercises and environmental modifications, your fall risk increases exponentially with each passing month. After 80, even minor falls frequently result in hip fractures, head injuries requiring hospitalization, and permanent loss of independence, because your bones are more fragile and your recovery capacity is dramatically reduced. You need to retrain your balance system starting immediately through daily targeted exercises. Practice standing on one foot for 10 seconds while holding a kitchen counter for safety. Do this 3 times on each foot every morning. Walk heel to toe across your living room twice daily, placing one foot directly in front of the other like you're walking a tightrope, again keeping a wall within reach. Remove every single throw rug from your home today, because they're responsible for thousands of serious falls in seniors over 80. Clear all clutter from walking paths, install grab bars in your bathroom if you haven't already, and ensure every stairway has sturdy handrails on both sides. These aren't suggestions for someday. These are survival requirements. Start balance exercises today before your next fall becomes the one that ends your independent living. Your balance won't improve on its own. It will only get worse, but consistent daily practice can maintain what you have left and significantly reduce your fall risk. Change 2. Muscle mass disappears faster than ever. Have you noticed that simple tasks like opening jars, carrying groceries, or getting up from chairs suddenly require much more effort than they did just a few years ago? The Mayo Clinic reports that after age 80, muscle mass decreases at a rate of 15% per decade, which is 3 times faster than the muscle loss you experienced in your 60s. This accelerated decline leads to a condition called sarcopenia that affects nearly half of all adults over 80. Your body is quite literally consuming your own muscle tissue faster than it can rebuild it, and without intervention, you'll progressively lose the strength needed for basic daily activities like bathing, dressing, and walking. Gerald, An 83-year-old from Atlanta found himself struggling to lift a half-full laundry basket and couldn't understand why tasks that were effortless at 75 now left him exhausted and shaky. His doctor explained his muscle mass had declined by nearly 20% in just 8 years. Losing muscle mass doesn't just make you weaker in obvious ways. It directly increases your fall risk because your legs can't support your body weight properly, makes recovery from any illness nearly impossible because your body has no protein reserves to draw from, and leads to complete loss of independence in basic daily activities like getting dressed or using the toilet. The muscle you lose now doesn't come back easily, and every week you wait makes rebuilding exponentially harder. You must do resistance exercises immediately to slow or reverse muscle loss. And the good news is, you don't need a gym membership or complicated equipment. Do chair squats every single morning. That means sitting down in a sturdy chair and standing back up without using your hands. Start with 10 repetitions, rest for 1 minute, then do 10 more. Hold light canned goods like soup cans in each hand and lift them from your waist to shoulder height 10 times, twice daily. Eat protein at every single meal without exception. Eggs for breakfast, Greek yogurt for snacks, chicken or fish, or beans for lunch and dinner. Your body needs protein to maintain muscle, and most seniors over 80 don't eat nearly enough. Start strength exercises today because muscle loss accelerates every single week you wait. But research shows it can be slowed significantly and even partially reversed with immediate, consistent action. Don't accept weakness as inevitable when you have the power to fight it right now. Change. Chat 3. Your sleep architecture permanently changes. After 80, your brain produces dramatically less melatonin, and your sleep cycles naturally shorten, meaning the 8-hour solid sleep you enjoyed for decades becomes physiologically impossible for most people. Harvard Medical School sleep researchers confirm that adults over 80 experience 50% less deep sleep compared to younger adults, and wake an average of 6 to 8 times nightly due to reduced melatonin production and fundamental changes in circadian rhythm regulation. This isn't insomnia that needs aggressive treatment. This is normal aging of your brain's sleep systems. Your pineal gland simply doesn't manufacture sleep hormones the way it did for 7 decades, and fighting this biological reality creates more problems than it solves. Phyllis, an 84-year-old from Phoenix, felt devastated when she couldn't sleep through the night anymore, assuming something was seriously wrong, until her doctor explained her brain simply doesn't produce sleep hormones like it used to. She'd been lying awake feeling anxious about her sleep problems, which made everything worse. Fighting these natural sleep changes with frustration and anxiety actually worsens your sleep quality, because the stress hormones from worrying counteract whatever melatonin your brain still produces. Understanding that waking multiple times nightly is completely normal after 80 lets you adapt your expectations and still get the restorative rest your body needs, even if it comes in shorter segments throughout the night. You need to work with your changed sleep patterns instead of fighting them. Go to bed and wake at exactly the same time every single day, including weekends, because your aging circadian rhythm needs strict consistency to function properly. Expose yourself to bright light for 30 minutes each morning, preferably outdoors or near a sunny window, to reset your daily rhythm. Keep your bedroom completely dark using blackout curtains, and remove all light sources including electronics, and maintain the temperature between 65 and 68 degrees because your body needs cooler temperatures for optimal sleep. Most importantly, accept that waking 2 to 3 times nightly is your new normal after 80, and simply resting quietly in bed still provides significant restorative benefits even when you're not in deep sleep. Adapt your sleep expectations immediately, because fighting your body's natural changes only creates frustration and stress that worsens sleep further. Work with your aging biology instead of against it, and you'll get better rest starting tonight. Change. 4. Vision changes create hidden safety hazards. Have you noticed difficulty seeing in dim lighting, trouble judging distances when stepping off curbs, or finding that glare from headlights at night nearly blinds you for several seconds? The National Eye Institute reports that by age 80, your pupils let in 30% less light than they did at age 20. Contrast sensitivity decreases by 40%, and the lens of your eye yellows significantly. These changes make depth perception substantially impaired, night vision severely reduced, and recovery from glare dramatically slower. You're essentially seeing the world through a dark yellow filter with reduced ability to distinguish where objects begin and end, which makes stairs, curbs, and uneven surfaces genuinely dangerous, even in places you've walked for years. Irving, an 85-year-old from Boston, didn't realize his vision changes were causing him to misjudge curb heights and step distances until he fell twice in 1 month, stepping off what he thought were small curbs that were actually 6 inches high. His brain couldn't accurately judge depth anymore. Unaddressed vision changes after 80. Cause falls from misjudging distances, car accidents from inability to see clearly at night or recover from headlight glare, medication errors from misreading prescription labels in poor lighting, and increasing social isolation because you can't recognize faces clearly anymore. Many seniors stop attending social events simply because they're embarrassed about not recognizing people, not realizing this is a vision problem affecting millions. You must compensate for reduced vision through environmental changes starting today. Install brighter LED bulbs in every room of your home. Aim for at least 100-watt equivalent in areas where you read, cook, or do tasks requiring visual precision. Add nightlights in every hallway, bathroom, and the path from your bedroom to bathroom because your night vision is severely compromised. Mark step edges with bright yellow or white tape so you can see exactly where stairs begin and end. Schedule annual comprehensive eye exams to catch treatable conditions like cataracts or glaucoma early. And be honest with your eye doctor about any vision difficulties you're experiencing. Stop driving at night immediately if glare from oncoming headlights causes you problems. This isn't admitting defeat, it's preventing tragedy. Improve your lighting and visual environment today because most falls in seniors over 80 happen simply because you literally can't see hazards that were perfectly visible a decade ago. Better lighting is cheap, easy, and could save your life. Change 5. Your immune system becomes significantly more vulnerable. After 80, your immune system's ability to fight infections, heal wounds, and respond to vaccines decreases by 50% or more, making illnesses that were minor annoyances in your younger years genuinely dangerous now. Research from the Centers for Disease Control confirms that adults over 80 experience a phenomenon called immunosenescence, where infection-fighting white blood cells decline dramatically in both number and effectiveness. This makes pneumonia, influenza, and urinary tract infections leading causes of hospitalization and death in this age group. Your body simply cannot mount the same immune response it did for decades, which means infections that your immune system would have easily defeated at 60 now overwhelm your defenses and become life-threatening within days. Beatrice, an 82-year-old from Portland, assumed a mild cold would clear up on its own like always, but her weakened immune system couldn't fight the infection effectively, and it progressed to pneumonia, requiring 5 days of hospitalization. She nearly died from something that would have been a minor inconvenience 20 years earlier. Ignoring infections or delaying medical care after 80 allows seemingly simple illnesses to become life-threatening with frightening speed because your immune system can't mount effective defenses anymore. A urinary tract infection can cause sepsis within 48 hours. A small cut can become a serious wound infection, and respiratory infections progress to pneumonia much faster than they did when you were younger. Time is absolutely critical when your immune system is compromised. You must protect your weakened immune system through preventive measures starting immediately. Wash your hands thoroughly with soap for at least 20 seconds before every meal and after being in any public place, because your body can't fight off germs like it used to. Get your annual flu vaccine and ensure you've received the pneumonia vaccines recommended for your age. Ask your doctor specifically about both PCV13 and PPSV23 pneumonia vaccines. Call your doctor within 24 hours of any fever over 100 degrees, persistent cough, painful urination, or any sign of infection, because waiting to see if it improves on its own is genuinely dangerous after 80. Avoid crowded places during peak flu season from December through February, and stay current with all vaccines your doctor recommends, including shingles and COVID boosters. Take immune protection seriously starting now, because infections that were minor annoyances at 60 can be fatal at 80. Your immune system won't improve, so you must compensate through prevention and rapid response. Change 6. Recovery time from illness or injury. Triples. Have you noticed that a simple cold now takes 3 weeks to fully resolve instead of a few days, or that minor injuries seem to heal at a frustratingly slow pace? Johns Hopkins geriatric medicine specialists report that healing time after 80 increases by 200 to 300% compared to age 60 due to reduced cellular regeneration, decreased circulation, and slower protein synthesis needed for tissue repair. Your body's repair mechanisms are fundamentally slowed at the cellular level, which means every injury and illness requires exponentially more time to heal completely. What took 1 week at 60 now takes 3 weeks at 80, and pushing yourself before you're fully healed often causes re-injury that starts the entire process over again. Stanley, an 86-year-old from Chicago, sprained his ankle stepping off a curb and couldn't understand why it took 4 months to fully heal when the same injury at 70 healed completely in 3 weeks. His doctor explained his body's repair systems were working at about 1/3 the speed they used to. Underestimating recovery time after 80 leads to re-injury from returning to normal activities too quickly. Serious complications from pushing yourself before your body has finished healing, and profound frustration that actually slows healing further through stress responses. Your body needs time you're not accustomed to giving it, and impatience causes more damage than the original illness or injury. You must fundamentally adjust your recovery expectations and timeline for any illness or injury. Triple whatever recovery time you remember from earlier decades. If you think something should take 1 week, plan for 3 weeks minimum. Follow all medical instructions exactly without cutting corners or deciding you know better, because your compromised healing capacity leaves no room for shortcuts. Eat extra protein during recovery from any illness or injury, because your body needs building blocks for tissue repair, and most seniors don't consume enough. Ask your doctor for physical therapy referrals for any significant injury, rather than assuming you'll bounce back naturally, because structured rehabilitation prevents permanent limitations. Adjust your recovery expectations immediately, because rushing healing after 80 often causes permanent damage and complications that steal your independence. Give your body the time it needs, even when it feels frustratingly slow. Change 7. Social isolation accelerates if not actively prevented. After 80, you statistically lose friends and connections faster than at any previous life stage due to deaths, relocations, and mobility limitations. And this isolation directly damages your physical health, not just your emotional well-being. The National Institute on Aging confirms that social isolation after 80 increases mortality risk by 50%, accelerates cognitive decline, raises blood pressure, weakens immune function, and increases inflammation throughout your body. The health impact of loneliness after 80 equals smoking 15 cigarettes daily in terms of mortality risk. This isn't about feeling sad. This is about measurable biological changes that occur when humans lack regular social connection. Your body responds to isolation as a threat, releasing stress hormones that damage every system over time. Mildred, an 84-year-old from San Diego, found herself suddenly alone after her two closest friends passed away, and her mobility issues made church attendance difficult. Within 6 months, her doctor noted declining health markers, including elevated blood pressure and increased inflammation levels, directly linked to her isolation. Passive acceptance of increasing isolation literally shortens your life and accelerates every other age-related health decline through biological stress responses your body can't control. You might tell yourself you're fine being alone, but your cardiovascular system, immune system, and brain are suffering measurable damage from lack of human connection. This isn't optional for health. Social connection is as essential as proper nutrition or exercise. You must actively combat isolation through scheduled regular contact starting immediately. Schedule at least one meaningful social interaction every single week, whether that's attending a senior center program, having coffee with a neighbor, calling a long-distance friend, or video chatting with family. Join at least one group activity monthly, such as a library program, church group, community center class, or volunteer opportunity. Say yes to every reasonable invitation, even when staying home seems easier, because the effort of getting out prevents the biological damage of isolation. If mobility limits you, use technology for video calls rather than just phone calls, because seeing faces provides more neurological stimulation. Combat isolation starting this week because the health consequences of loneliness after 80 are as deadly as any physical disease, and unlike many age-related changes, this one you can directly control through action. Reach out to one person today. These 7 unavoidable changes, declining balance, accelerating muscle loss, altered sleep patterns, vision deterioration, weakened immunity, extended recovery time, and increasing isolation, happen to virtually everyone after 80, regardless of how healthy you've been previously. But understanding these changes means you can actively counteract them with balance exercises, strength training, sleep adaptation, better lighting, immune protection, realistic recovery expectations, and active social engagement. Reaching 80 doesn't mean surrendering to decline. It means fighting smarter with strategies proven to work for your changing body. If you found this information valuable and wish someone had explained these changes years ago, click that like button so other seniors discover the truth about life after 80. Drop a comment sharing which change you're experiencing right now or which strategy you're starting first. Your experience helps this entire community learn and adapt. Subscribe for more honest, practical advice about the realities of aging that most people won't discuss openly, and share this video with anyone approaching or past 80 who deserves to understand what's happening to their body and exactly how to maintain independence despite these inevitable changes.